right, we're going to get started here. Let me just get this camera rolling here. Let's see here. Gallery. We'll go here, I think. Get rid of all this. Oops, wrong thing there. Hold on. All right, let's see what's going on here. Stop the stream. Let's get this rolling here. Hold on. All right, I think we are good. Yes, can you hear me, Danielle? Laughing out loud. Yes, I think we are good. Let me just double check here to make sure that if I mark on here, you can see me draw, because that's why we're, hey, that's why we're here, huh? Okay, there we go. Okay, we are good to go. Look at that. All right. Okay, let's make this official. Oh, my name is Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this is our Monday night edition of Monday Night Live. Every Monday and Wednesday night we go live, and on Mondays we draw a landscape or a seascape, something that is usually more larger. It can even be architecture, interior, exterior, but we voted in our Facebook group, and this is what we have decided to go with here. So I'm glad that you are here. And what happened here? Let's just double check. Okay, and I think we're ready to go there. Wow, there's a teeny little bit of delay. Let me just check that, make sure my screen shows something totally different here. Make sure we're good there. Okay, we're good. Man. All right, here we go. Now I think I'm ready to start. So, yeah, so anyways, so Monday nights we do landscapes or seascapes or something to do with the outside. Sometimes we do architecture or interior. And then on Wednesdays, we typically will draw a portrait. We took a break in the last 3 weeks, and so we have one more week that we're actually doing a more full figure, a character, and then we'll get back to portraits. But tonight, it's Monday, and we're going to take a look at this lovely country road that everyone voted on. So let's go ahead and quickly get started. Let's see, if you're interested also, I have a free class. It's down in the link below, called Beginner's Workshop Part A. It goes over some of the most basic things that every artist should know. And I would encourage you to sign up for that. And that's about it. So give me a thumbs up, please. And a comment is always nice. And let's get into this, okay? So first thing, whenever I approach any type of drawing, I always go into it with a 3-step process. And that starts off with a gesture, which leads me into looking at volume or mass, and then that goes into detail after that, okay? So that's usually how I approach any drawing. Let's erase all that and just make sure I got the right pencil here. Okay, great. All right, excellent. Wow, that is so big. Okay. We'll start off here tonight with a nice, I usually start off with a frame. this usually gives me a place of measurement, and I find it to be extremely helpful versus just drawing full bleed on a sketchbook or a paper. So I personally like using some sort of frame. And what we're going to approach this drawing tonight, we're going to look at shape and stacking in order to get this gesture down. Okay, so first thing I see, let's kind of get in this horizon line, and it's almost working right dead center. But you know, for a little bit of interest, I'm going to just put it a little bit above center, and then we have this hill that's coming in the background. It's blue in color, and there's a lot of moisture between where us as a viewer and what we could see in the distance. That's why it's not as dark or contrasty. Okay, so we have our back hill there. Okay, let's gesture in this tree here, and I'm just going to take a look at it here and try and get a rough idea of how big it is. Now I have this rock coming in, and I notice if I look at my picture here, let's do a little, let's make a little guide here just so we could see kind of where the center is. I'm going to guess the center is right about there, okay? So having that in place, seeing that about right in that place will help me judge distance, okay? Okay, so distance, the center is there. This rock is going to be just about there. That's where I'm going to put it, okay? My house is going to be kind of small compared to that mountain in the background, okay? Just kind of generally sticking it in a position right now, okay? Because I'm just gesturing. And then I have a secondary bush that's coming around over here. And I'm looking at where the bottom of this bush is landing, and it's like almost right across from my rock there, okay? Now let's look closely where this road is coming in. This road is coming in way down here at the bottom right of our page, and it has a nice curve that's going around the back end of that rock. You see that? Hey, look at that. Z is in the house. Hello, Z. All right, look at that. Okay, next the other part. Let's get the other outside of the road, and the other outside of the road is coming way over here. You see that? So we want to make sure that we curve that around. And also, I want to give a shout out to everyone who's eventually going to watch this. Thanks for watching the replay, and it's always fun to see everyone's drawing. So make sure that you post those in our Facebook group, and those are always a kick to see. All right, here we go. Let's keep going here. So this is gonna come around. Let's get this road in. Make sure you make your road nice and wide there, okay? And then I'm looking at this distance here. I'm looking at the width of this compared to the width of this. All right, let's do it to the other side. Now I'm looking at the width of the grass. And now look, I want to be very careful. Like right now in my gesture, look how thick that is, and it should be far more foreshortened. So make sure as your road curves around, you don't get lost. You really think it through and make sure it's foreshortening, okay? That might be the hardest part of the drawing here, is getting that road to look like it's going back, and it looks even. I get an idea that it's coming way, it's circling around way back over here. Yeah, I'm happy you're here too. It's a lot of fun, Z, having people to draw with. I'll tell you, we all can make mistakes together, right? So all right, let's get this tree down here. Let's think about this. Tree's leaning over in this direction. I'm going to get that nice big trunk coming up here. Again, I'm still in this kind of gesture phase. All right. And this tree is going to come out. I mean, it is really going to come out here. Great. And then I'm going to have some fences. All right. And then the last thing, let's go ahead and start to work on this house, okay? I'm going to start, when I draw this house, just getting this little vertical right over here on this other side. And it looks like I froze there for a second. Oh, there it goes, okay. Get this little vertical there. And then I'm going to guess where the center part there is the center part of the house. And then this other vertical is going to be way down here possibly. And I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and connect the dots there. And now this roof line is almost vertical going back. See that? And it's practically parallel with that front end right there. You see that? And then look how the second part comes in just a little bit. And then we have this tree coming in here, you see? And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of a tone. Am I going too fast? Everyone keeping up okay? I'm going to add a little tone to the front here. We could always come back in and darken that up. And then we also have some bushes here. And all I'm going to do is, when you're drawing bushes, you want to be careful not to make them like a round fuzzball, okay? So we want to look for variation. So as I look at this bush here, I see it almost in two parts. You see that? I see this. There's this section right here. And then it jumps up here a little bit. And then comes down here, just like this. That's my general shape of it. Okay. And now as I am looking at this bush a little bit closer, I'm going to break down the shape just a little bit more with more value, okay? So it's going to have an overall tone. I'm going to lightly put in an overall tone. And that tone in that bush is a little bit lighter than that barn. So let's drop the front end of our barn down another value. Make sure that those are definitely two different values back there. Then I'm going to go into my bush here, and I see that there's a couple different values going on. So I want to be mindful of where those are at. There's some sticks coming up back over there. And now I'm going to go back into my barn and bring that down even more. I'm going to darken that value. Because look at that grassy field in front of it. And I'm just going to bring in my darker value just a little bit into that grass right below it. Okay, now let's do some surface lines on that roof and give this a slight tone. I'm going to sharpen up my edge right there. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to tone in this whole field over here. I'm going to go in here with an even tone because this road is so reflective of the sunlight. Keep this light. Okay, so that's going to be my general grass tone. So let's tone in the rest of our drawing with that same exact value. Same exact value. Oh, trying to catch up. Okay, Jamie. Jamie, do I need to, where are you at, buddy? We don't like to, we're kind of like the army. We leave no one behind. So, maybe it's time to tell a story while Jamie catches up, huh? Let's see, what can I show you? So, let's talk about, as Jamie catches up, okay, we will, let's take a look at this rock. Let's talk about rocks for a minute, okay? And when I'm drawing a rock, what happened here to my brush? Okay, great. So usually when I'm drawing a rock, what I'll do is I will start off with a general shape, and you could do this at the bottom of your picture. Color in the value. All right, go. Don't go heavy-handed there, my friend. So when I have my rock, I have a shape of my rock, and then I will usually go in and break it down so it has almost like 3 parts to it. You see that? So we could do this. And then this side is going to maybe be a little bit more lighter in value. You see that? And here's another one. We can come in like this. This is a good, simple way to get some interesting rocks. Is to get the general shape and then drop in 2 values. So you leave like one value, the white of the paper, and then you can get a darker side and then a lighter side. You see that? That's a good way. That's a good way to get 3 sides of a rock. Okay, J.I. is in. It's JJ. JJ's in the house. How's that coming? Are you caught up, buddy? Can we continue on? All right, we'll continue on now. That gave JJ a little bit of time here. Okay, so now that we've talked about, let's get this next center tone in, the center part of our road. I'm just going to tone that in just a little bit. We want to really respect the white of our page for the for those roads there. Okay, let's drop into this mountain here. This mountain's also going to have a bit of a tone to it. Keep it light. And then I think we're going to leave the sky as is, okay? All right, let's get the shape of this rock in place here. So it almost has that 3 sides. So I'm going to draw the general shape of it. And then I'm going to tone it. It looks like this part that's facing us is going to be very dark. Okay. Give it all nice even tone, and then this part that's facing us, go dark. There is some of the greenery that's grown in front. Okay. Great. Let's go ahead and work on some of this greenery now. This on the road here. Now think of when you're drawing grass. Don't think of grass like this per se. Think of grass more like this. Like it's almost like a volume. You see this? And then on the edge, that's where you do that sort of thing. See, now this gives a sense that the grass is thick and has a lot of volume. Oh, I'm sorry, JJ. You're a girl. You're a girl. Bing! I'm sorry. Thank you for the clarification. All right. Next, come on up here now. Let's go ahead and start to think of the thickness of these weeds of the grassy area here. And we want to make sure we're coming in light, straight up and down on that. There was a long time ago when I was a kid, we used to watch the show called, what was the name of it? Well, I think it was about a black family in either Harlem or maybe it was Detroit or something like that. And it had a main character, and he'd always go, "Dynamite!" We loved it as a kid. Well, there was a guy on that show named Jay. I think his name was JJ, and so that's why I hear that name. I think of the guy on that show who would go. The name of the show was Good Times. I just thought of it. So that was a fun show. You'll have to check that out. Maybe that will redeem me, right? Okay, look. Let's look closely at this tree here that I'm starting to put in. And one side is all right. So one side's coming up here. Let's focus just on the one trunk. All right. And I'm just letting it kind of taper. Okay, now let's get in this other trunk here. And we have to, a lot of times when we're drawing these things, we have to think. We can't just rush right into them without concentrating. And this whole thing's going to be in shadow. So let's add a value to us. Another thing too is we're doing right now is tapering. So I like to taper all the way up, and a lot of times when I'm tapering, I like to push my pen down and pull it up. You see that? Something like that. Okay, I'm going to squint here just a little bit. Trying to think of the tree as mass in certain little areas here. You see this? Then I could darken some of these. And when you're drawing these branches, one thing you want to be very careful of, not to do this sort of thing. Not to have one come over here and then have one coming over here. You want to avoid that. What you want to do is as you come one up here, you want to come up one over there and then one up over there. You see that? So you get some variation as you're doing it. Take your time, no rush. And when I'm putting in these leaves, I'm not thinking of individual leaves, I'm thinking of areas of tone. Trying to make this look as natural as possible. Still trying to keep a light hand when I'm coming in here, because I'm going to definitely come back in and get darken things up quite a bit. Okay, I'm going to come back down and work on this grassy area here just a little bit. Again, I'm thinking of the grass as being thick. You see that? And as the grass goes back in space, it's going to get a little bit smaller. I'm definitely squinting my eyes a little bit to try and get some different values going. This whole corner, look at this corner, should be dark. And then another thing you want to might add to your road here is some surface lines or some pebbles. Surface lines are going to be straight across. Surface lines always follow the form. Grass is growing here. Let's keep this going. And then we have this beautiful bush that's coming in on the right side here. And let's be mindful of how we're drawing that. Okay. Yep, getting this side view of this grass to really stand up. That's gonna sell us on this road here. Plus there's trees, lots of trees, so we can trees right along this horizon's edge. I think for me, once I start getting all the values in place, and they're put in relatively lightly, it gives me the opportunity then to go in and start adding a little bit more detail or making small adjustments. You see? And this mountain back here is really has a lot more contrast compared to the sky. So you want to make sure that value goes in. Keep it light there. Don't go too dark on me. Because a lot of times if you go too dark in one area, then you got to darken everything else up. You see? All right, there's some great fence posts. So let's get these guys in. So let's start off with this fence post right there. And then there's going to be one small one way over here. You see that? And then I'm going to come in between those two. This will help here. Okay. As they get closer, we want to, this fence post This fence has been sitting there for a long time. And then this is covered up by grasses. And I'm going to go into our tree now and darken this silhouette of the tree just a bit more. This light is coming from behind. That's why we have so many silhouettes in this picture. Just looking for value here. Looking for value. There's slight variation in this field. It's always interesting to me that as I look at something, the longer I look at something, the more detail I see. Okay, let's look. Now look at this. My inner road here is very straight, but the picture has a lot of variation. So I'm going to go ahead in here and try and break this up just a little bit. Is that looking okay? That's looking okay. It looks like the ground over here is sloping just a little bit. This little bit of a slope will help me. These surface lines will help it to read that it's going up. You see that? Remember, your job as an artist a lot of times is not to copy exactly what you see, but to take that information, distill it down to tell a story. How's this looking? This looks. Now look at this. Look at the left side. The left side green is much darker than the right side green. So you really want to make that variation. So I'm going to drop a tone on the right side, really to make that distinction. Okay. Now I'm going to come back in here and start adding some more darker areas. Of course, this is going to be darker too from the shadow. See that? darker here. And there's these surface lines as well coming off over here. Try and break that up. Yep. Tree is dark. Okay. Okay, I've got this awkward straight line that I really need to break up over here. So I'm just going to come in here. Yeah, a lot of it is just going slowly, looking at your picture, and then determining where you need to add more value. Like, look, the right side of this grassy area is a little bit darker than the left side. Okay, let's get some of these flowers in here. I'm just going to indicate them with kind of a dark little dot, even though they're white in value. If you were painting this, you could come back in with that a white paint or whatever to establish that. I'm just going to work my edge here just a little bit. Once again, I'm squinting my eye to make sure I've got nice value change, and I think this needs to go all darker in here. Yep, that's helping my road, definitely helping my road, and I'm gonna give an overall just a light tone, but go back and forth to really making that road flat. There's been a lot of horse and buggy down that road, huh? Old Ford pickups, maybe? All right, let's get in. I'm going to give this some more tone, this tree here a little bit. Might even need just more branches. How's everyone's coming along here? Okay? We're going too fast? Yeah. Getting the idea? Gonna go out there and sell this as a NFT or something? I don't even know what an NFT is. I was just looking at them just slightly trying to, I mean, I know what they stand for, but I don't know if there's no, you can attach an NFT to your artwork, but if no one wants it, then what's the point, right? All right, how's this roof coming over here? I'm gonna add a little tone down here, I think. All right, I'm gonna take a look at this bush back here. Okay, how's this looking over here? This could have used a little more work, I think, huh? Trees in the background on this horizon line. Okay, how we're looking here? Let's see. Anything else? I still think this area needs to go darker on mine. This right side needs to drop back just a little bit. Yeah, I like that. That's much better. Now I gotta come back in and darken the shadow area. Add some darker grasses maybe, huh? Okay. All right, I think I'm looking pretty good there, but I just made a fatal error. I'm gonna try and fix that. I added too much dark value down here and made the tree go in front of the log. I mean the rock. So let's see if I can use the magic. All right, so this will be toned back a little bit. And then I'm just going to give some tone back here, maybe to simulate clouds. I'll tell you, one of the important things is know when to quit. And I think I've just about done it. Tone this into here. Add a little more pebbles, right? When I draw pebbles, I just like to put like the shadow underneath. Okay, I think that about does it for me here. Any questions? Anything you think I need to go over that you might have missed that you'd like me to review? I just like to keep squinting my eyes and just looking at the value. Seeing if I've gotten everything that I want to accomplish in values. What's the darkest dark? What's the lightest light? How does this area compare to that other area? Squint my eyes, you see that? Oops. All right. Any other questions here? We're good? I think that's going to sum it up for me tonight. I'll hang on here and just see if there's anything else that we all want to discuss. What's everyone using to draw with tonight? Markers, pencils, charcoal. I once had a art teacher. Here's a quick story for you while you finish up. His name was Professor Lincoln, and we walked into class one day, and it was a morning class. And he walked up, and all of our stuff was around, and he sat down at this one girl's place, and she had all of her art supplies up, and he was reaching for this pencil or pen or whatever, and for whatever reason the lead kept breaking, and he just kept getting more and more frustrated. So somebody yelled out. Someone said, "Hey, use her blueberry muffin to draw with." Oh, pencils. Okay, JJ's using pencils. Excellent. So someone said, "Use your blueberry muffin," and Mr. Lincoln grabbed that blueberry muffin she had just bought from the cafeteria and started just school pencil. Excellent. Okay, all right. And he just started smearing it around on our page. It was so, it was so him. It just didn't surprise me, but. Yeah, so that was my one and only time that I saw someone try and draw with a blueberry muffin. So there you have it. Okay, well, I think that does it for tonight. With that, I'm going to drop my mic or drop my pencil and call it a night. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad that draws, and this has been our Monday night live, drawing our this lovely little country road. I hope you liked it. Please post your work in our Facebook group so everyone can see and do all that good stuff. Like and comment. I do appreciate it. Okay, that's it from me. I hope you guys have a great night. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.